What better goal can a man have than to see his own community prosper, to see a better life for his people, a better life for his children and their children onwards, a better life that he can live, and a better life for his children to come. A prosperous nation is a goal that we all strive for, and living the best possible life is all of our life's ends and goals. To live the best possible life and provide the best possible life for our children. And to do that, we must have a conducive society, an environment that allows us to grow and unleash our full potentials. But we cannot say that the Indian Republic, the Delhi Raj, this country, and the present state is conducive to the growth of our community and the growth of our children and the growth of our well being and development. No, we cannot say it is. There is a reason, there is a strong reason why our country is, if anyone has spent even the slightest amount of time online, especially on social media, will realize that our community and our nation in particular, and I say this in particular, not the third world, not the immigrant countries, not the development countries, the word India and Indians in particular have become the international butt of jokes, the international laughing stock, and internationally despised and hated. The, the hatred online against us is vitriolic and decisive. Decisive. It is not ambiguous. It is clear and straightforward hatred. Now, this hatred is a reflection. It is a reflection that shows us the truth we do not want to hear. And that truth is we have neglected our own nation. We have neglected ourselves. And the price is being paid now to become an insult, to become seen as lower, to be seen as inferior. I don't know about you, but I will not be tolerating anything against us and hatred against us. We must prove them wrong. And we have before. If we look at our past, if we look at our history, it is the greatest history a nation can ever wish for. We must remember that we started as the Indus Valley civilization. We started as a nation, as a civilization, one of the first civilizations and the most advanced civilizations. Then we carried it on. We had the Mauryas, Ashoka, pioneer of modern day progressiveness, ethics, human rights, animal rights. Terminology we so much consider to be Western ideologies, to be considered to be originated at Western, and which we look as the West as them having given us the gifts of progressivism, human rights, and ethics, and before that we were all just barbarians living in the jungle. No, it first started here. Those gifts which they claim to give us is our own knowledge, our own concepts back to us. And how have they been able to do that? Because of our ignorance. Because we have failed to reclaim our own history and we have failed to follow the path of our ancestors in making a great nation. It is said in the Vijayanagara Empire, diamonds, emeralds, rubies, gold were sold on the streets. They were sold in tiny shops like the one you see today selling pan, tobacco, chips packets. They used to sell gold, rubies, emeralds. The Portuguese traveler Nunes claimed that the Vijayanagara Empire was easily one of the best empires, and this capital, Hampi, is one of the most richest cities in this planet. Now, how many of you have even heard of Hampi? Not many. This is the state of our nation. It is in ruins because we, predecessors of our ancestors, successors, their children, have forgotten them. We have let go of their path, a path of glory, path of wealth, a path of great equality. And when I say equality and wondrous utopia, our nation is the most advanced, historically speaking. Everyone knows that the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gitas, the Puranas, and the Upanishads, and our Sahitya developed millenniums ago. We must remember that the Rig Veda is the oldest piece of work ever written more than 5,000 years ago, the Rig Veda. And even today, it is followed by our priests, the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda and all the books of our Sahitya contains philosophy so advanced that Western philosophers are barely scratching it, and now it is coming to the limelight, repackaged as their own, when it is in fact our own. In fact, not our own, our ancestors. We are not worthy enough to claim their mantle. We are not worthy enough to claim their legacy, their achievements. Why? Because we have forgotten them. We have decided to go in our ways against what we can be. We have decided to stray divided. We have been decided to defeat ourselves, to pull each other down in meaningless conflicts, in ideologies, parties, castes, states, languages, ethnicities. And we have pulled each other down while the rest of the world lifts each other up at our expense. I do not need to remind you what is to happen when a nation lags behind the rest, when a nation stuck in their isolation, stuck in their own heads, stuck in the mind, and blind to the world to see, blind to the developments occurring in the world. Colonialism, imperialism, oppression, tyranny, exploitation, and the destruction is what occurs. You must remember that in the 11th century, the Ghaznis, the Ghoris, tyrants invaded our country for wealth and plunder. Prithviraj Chauhan fought against him and won many, many, many times and showed mercy. But in the end, he was betrayed by Jaichand, betrayed, and Gori, he did not show any mercy. Prithviraj was killed, and from that day, from that century, began our downfall, our slow, painful, and utterly horrendous downfall has begun from that time. Because we decided to pull each other down, because we decided to stay betrayed, to stay against each other, and to pull each other down, to be selfish and not lift the community as a whole. And that price of the betrayal that happened in the 11th century, we pay it even now. Even to this day, the foreign powers play us like a second fiddle. We are not seen as the big players. We are not seen at the big talks. We are not invited to the big talks. The five main powers of the United Nations, and is not one of us. Ironically, we, with the country with the most billion, with the most population there is, and the country with the cleanest history, morally speaking, who has never invaded a country, despite being the oldest country on this earth, and with the most progressive ideologies when you take Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism, Sikhism, and various other ideologies and non-violence that has been born out of this nation. We are not at the big table. We are not considered. It is a shame. And just like how Ghori showed no mercy to Prithviraj, the world shows no mercy to the weak. This is why I do not stand for just taking our insults, being insulted, being humiliated, being seen as inferior, and doing nothing about it. Putting our head down is not what I accept. It is not what any of us should accept if we have any ounce of self respect. What we must do is we must prove them wrong. We must prove them totally wrong by lifting our country into the wealth and grandeur that it once was. Our ancestors lived through us, and we can make our country great. We have done it before, and we've had worse times. We removed the British. We removed the tyrannical Delhi sultanates. We have removed every single oppressor from the Greeks, the British, and we must remove a new oppressor which may not be seen directly as foreign, harder to identify, and more we tend to underestimate. This oppressor, this tyrant, this exploitative entity dresses in white kurtas, has a mustache, wears the Gandhi topi, all in khadi clothes, wearing simple sandals. These snakes, these snakes attempt to fool us. They attempt to fool us. They try to give us the illusion of choice by giving us so many parties to choose from. The BJP, Congress, the DMK, the JDS, the JDU, the RJD, the AAP, and all of the numerous infinite number of parties. And we feel that we are in control. We feel that anytime we can vote them out of power and we can choose the government of our own and we can choose those people who will do the best for us. Because this is Loktantra, this is democracy. But is that true? Like the chameleon that changes its color, these entities change their colors too, whenever it fits them. Because their goal is simple: profit at our expenses. Everyone knows Lord Rama, the most famous Hindu deity of them all, Lord Rama. Lord Rama. Lord Rama is so prominent that we all know who he is, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir to Nagaland to Rajasthan. Every single person knows about Lord Ram. Even if he's not a Hindu, be it a Muslim, Christian, atheist, whatever it may be, he has heard of it. Not even that, foreigners, even Japanese. If you go to Japan and you ask about Lord Rama, they may not recognize immediately, but they'll say, I've definitely heard of that. Lord Rama, well known. Deepavali, well known. Diwali, the biggest festival. The seventh avatar. And a certain political party loves to claim his legacy. Rama, the ideal ruler. How a kingdom is supposed to be ruled. The greatest ruler, a model for leadership. They try to claim it as their own, believing that and portraying to the people that they themselves are Rama incarnate, following in the footsteps of Lord Ram, the seventh avatar. But how many of you know about the sixth avatar of the Dashavataras? The one before Rama. Rama was the one who grew the seeds into the crops for all of us to have a bountiful harvest. He was the one who tended for the farm. But the sixth avatar was the one who cleared it of the rocks, the weeds, the drought, the moles, the rats, the snakes, the bush, the thick jungle. He was the one who cleared it all for to be it an arable pasture of land so Lord Rama can shine in it. The sixth avatar. Many Hindus may not even be aware of him. And certainly to celebrate him, I believe hardly anyone does. Lord Parashurama. Literally, Rama with an axe. And that axe symbolizes a very simple concept. Our ancestors, human ancestors, were not given farmland. We were thrust into the cold, harsh world and thick jungles with scary tigers, lions in it, until he invented the axe. The axe was a super weapon. It cleared forests, killed animals much bigger and scarier than them, cleared the thickest jungles, cleared the bushes, broke down all rocks, the axe, and it allowed us to develop agriculture, to farm. And Lord Parshuram's weapon is the axe. With that axe, he cleared out the evil that was en route. Lord Parshuram cleared it, and no one praises him. If it wasn't for him, Lord Rama could not take and not shine. Because first, someone had to clear the thickness, someone had to clear the dangers, and that was Lord Parshuram. Lord Parshuram's story is of a simple concept for every single one of us to remember and holds eternally true. When those press us, when those expense at our costs, those in power rule not for the benefit of the entire society, but for their class only, at the cost of us. It is time to take up the axe. Lord Parashurama did. The Kshatriyas, noble warriors who became corrupted, oppressed the common man. Parashurama, son of a Brahmin who is generally considered to be non-violent, to be peaceful, to support education and peace and harmony. He picked up the weapon because it was the right thing to do. And he is God himself, Lord Vishnu, sixth avatara. He had to pick up the weapon. He had to clear it all. And now we see parallels in our own time. Corruption, stagnation, the poor becoming poorer while the rich are living richer, wages coming down less, unemployment rising, ever increasing inflation, taxes, and most sinister of all, false enemies, illusions meant to distract us from the rot. Lord Parshurama's story is one we should remember. We should, yes, remember Lord Rama, but we should also remember Lord Parshurama. Every single avatar of Dashavatar teaches us a concept, a lesson to learn, an eternal law of life in this world. We cannot ignore some and choose what we like. We must remember them because even though Lord Parshuram may not be here with us today to save us, even though Lord Rama may not be here to govern us, we must look at them as role models and follow in their footsteps. We must clear the forests and we must grow crops bountiful so that no single soul in our nation starves, whether he be in Nagaland, from Kashmir, Kanyakumari, or Rajasthan. No single soul should live beneath human dignity, and everyone is deserving of the right of a better life. And there is no man who is going to save us. No one is going to save us. There is no prophet. There is no savior. There is only us common people. We have to lift ourselves, put aside such insignificant differences, and realize where the problem lies. And we must ruthlessly push to solving that problem. We must remember Lord Parshuram. We must remember Lord Ram. And we must hold them in our highest esteem and regards. They have showed us the path. Now we must follow in it.